Hey Seedlings, so welcome back to another video, and in this video I will bring you through a journey of how I made one of the designs for the collection. So the next collection that I will be making is the Knights of Avonius collection. So instead of making it like a lot of people, like I said, and Archons and the people around them video, I decided to just make it the four characters that we see at the start of the game. So there's Kaeya, Amber, Lisa, and Jean. As part of the Knights of Avonius, um, part of the Knights of Avonius collection. The first person that I actually thought of is Kaeya. So here comes the Kaeya pendant. And as you can see in the image, it is inspired by his burst glacial waltz. But again, this video is not just to showcase the design, but to bring you through the journey of how I figured out how I made this design. So here goes. At the start of trying to make this, I was taking a look at all of the character splash arts, because splash arts are one of the easiest places where you can find inspiration of what you're making, except for Tartaglia. That's not where I found his inspiration. Anyway, after taking a look of each of the character splash arts, once I have a rough idea on what kind of shape I want the pendant to be, I will start looking at all the aspects that each of the character has. And for Kaeya, I took a look mostly from. At first, I took a look at his ascension material, like how I did with Zhongli, Child, and Venti. And then when I took a look at it, and it's Kala Lily, and it just doesn't. I just doesn't think like I can put Kala Lily with Kaeya as much as I don't want to admit it. It's kind of hard for me to put Kala Lily with Kaeya, not because like with what I had in mind, it just doesn't fit in it. And then there's also his other ascension material, the treasure hoarder insignia. And in the treasure hoarder insignia, it also doesn't fit. At first I thought, wait a second, if it's like the silver raven insignia, then I think I can work with it. But after that, I just felt like I couldn't actually work with it as well as I would like it to work. Well, the design that you see being made in the video is already like from the rough sketch to the actual like coloring. So before this, I actually made many different rough sketches that didn't get saved, because what I like is just directly making one sketch, like sketch and a go, and then like all the little details is going to come in later on when I'm making line art and coloring it. So I did not manage to save the sketch. However, if you can just imagine that kind of coin, or like the pattern on a coin on the design, yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Again, when I started making these designs, what I first think about is the shape of the so-called gemstone, or probably resin, because I don't think that gemstones would be a very good option making such large pendants. But yeah, I first think of the shape of the so-called gemstone. And so after experimenting with everything, I ended up deciding to use the top part of his burst glacial waltz. So in his splash art, you can see how glacial waltz look like. And I just decided to take that top part and put it as a frame for this pendant. And after I put it in, I thought that there's actually not enough feature of Kaeya in it to make it relate to Kaeya. So in the end, I decided to take part of his cape, which is at the back. The color for the cape part, or like the feathery cape part, doesn't really match with Kaya's cape, but it's as a consideration because the gemstone is already very dark, and then the metal is like silver, and if I put at another like dark or extremely light, I don't think that it would fit in. So I just decided to take the color from other parts of Kaya's clothes and put it as the cape part. And lastly, I added a touch of gold, and that is the thing that I put in with his essential material, that little touch of gold around the dark blue gemstone around the feathery cape area. It's not only his essential material for like the golden raven exynia, but it's also part of, if you look at his eye patch in his model, there's a little bit of like gold accents at the top of the eye patch, and I guess I'm also referencing that. And lastly, I was actually like kind of like debating whether I should add more small gemstones around the area, and I decided to add like two more other than the one like in the one framed with gold, but the other ones are not framed at all. So that is the actual journey on how I ended up making this Kaeya pendant. So continuing on this train of thought, for the color of the gemstone, so I talked about how I figured out on like the frame and also the accents of the pendant. But like the stone, how do I actually think of the stone? So it is not, it's kind of not visible in Kaya's splash art, but if you have Kaeya, everyone have Kaeya. What am I kidding? Who am I kidding? So in Kaya's art, you can see many patterns of like stars, and it is figured out on his lore because he is from Kyandria, and all the people from Kyandria has this kind of star pattern thing, and I decided to make the shape that, even though it might be kind of hard and we might need to make it like a unsymmetrical like diamond, but I think for a design it looks kind of nice. And after that, for the color, I really don't know what color I should put it, because if I put on his hair color, it just seems kind of dull and it doesn't look the way that I would want it to look like. And then if I put in his eye color, it's too light in my opinion, because I was already planning on making the frame silver to match like cryo, something like that. So by making the gemstone lighter, it just doesn't feel right with a silver frame. It is different from how like diamonds and silver complement each other, okay? And after that, if I try to pick any color from all around Kaya's actual color composition, it also feels kind of dull. So in the end, I decided to increase the saturation of the color and make it more of this blue, and I think that it ended up looking very beautiful. The same color of the gems, the biggest gemstone is also the same color as the smaller gemstones that is in the accessory. So that is all for this video. If you like this kind of content, do like and comment down below what kind of characters that you want to see first. Remember that I'm working on this collection, so there's Amber, Lisa, and Jean. I might be speeding up whichever character that you guys ask for. Even though sometimes inspiration would literally destroy the wall of finishing something first over the other. But yeah, comment down below which character that you would want to see first, and then after Kaeya, and then don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell for more contents from me. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!